Hey everyone, Janetverse here. Welcome back to another video. And in today's video, this is going to be a follow-up to yesterday's video about moonwalking. So I got several different complaints in the comment section about my video, some of which are just, some of which are not. Two of the main ones were, A, Janetverse, you are not moonwalking. Moonwalking is when you go side to side, and that's not moonwalking, so therefore you didn't prove anything wrong. Or B, Tenebris, you're not doing it correctly. You need to look at the very top of the block or something like that, right? There's also a lot of people who have been linking me to these German YouTubers who apparently can do it, which I'm immediately incredibly skeptical of. I'm just going to have to say that right now. I'm not 100% sure whether or not what they're showing is legit, just for various reasons. But there is a few things I'm going to need to correct about my own video. And the first thing is that the macro I was using to demonstrate the difference between this and this was wrong, because essentially I was setting up a macro in Razer Synapse where I had a default delay of 45 ms, where I thought that, for example, so the thing about Razer Synapse is that it records mouse ups and mouse downs, right? So I had a 45 ms delay between the mouse ups and mouse downs, and not between the two mouse downs, which would be the actual delay, like actual CPS. So the reason why this is so much lower is because this was actually like 13 CPS, and this was like 20 or more. But I'm pretty sure, so I haven't tested it yet. I'll show this in a future video, but I'm pretty sure it will be the same 20 and above, no matter what. Alright, so now that I got that out of the way, and there's just some people that are like, oh, Tenebris, you're not gonna, change your mind about anything. I'm completely open to changing my mind. You just need to show me that I'm wrong, right? Because I just admit it right there. Like, I was completely wrong. I had no idea what I was doing there. But it's not the fact that I'm closed-minded. It's the fact that I've, looked into this heavily, and I've tried like 100 times, and I've not been able to do this. And I've seen people on YouTube like claim that they can do this, and claim they can do it for long without shifting and without falling off. It just doesn't seem logically possible to me. All right. So instead of worrying about any of this macro CPS bull crap, I'm going to be using the minimum delay. So it's like a 400 CPS macro or something. Sorry, but I'm a little sick right now. But someone said, look at the very top of the block. So I'll just do that right now and go back. And I just fell off in 3 blocks. Now, the original limit that I put, which was like 5 blocks, actually only works if you're going straight back. Let me explain that right now. Because it was calculated with the straight back movement of 4.317 blocks, if you go at a slight angle like this, your movement is not exactly 4.317. So if you move a little bit differently, then it's gonna be a lot longer. See that right there? See, for example, I was able to get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 blocks, because if you looked at the bottom right there, you could see I was traveling 3.117 blocks or something like that. It was less than the normal speed that you walk back at, because, as I said previously, the slower you go, the more blocks you can go. Another thing that people need to understand is that there's just like a million different names for all these different types of bridging. Like, there's actually something called like quarter dirt bridging, where you like go like that and you just like place a million blocks. Like, it's actually the most confusing thing ever, and it's just so much easier for me to just like say, okay, well, this is moonwalking. Moonwalking is non-shift bridging backwards, okay? So I'm gonna call that moonwalking, okay? Because I've seen people in my own comment section disagree about what moonwalking is, and honestly, guys, like, I really don't care. I don't care about your own definition. I'm using this definition, and this is the definition I'm going to be using. So, yeah. Another thing people said is, like, oh, you're not looking at the right part of the block. So I'll look at the bottom of the block. Oh, looks like I only got 1 block. By the way, this is a 400 CPS macro, so yeah, you can't have any timing. There's no timing argument to be made. You're not timing it correctly. I'm placing it as soon as I possibly can. Let's look a little bit above the block, maybe. Okay, looks like I fell. Let's look right in the corner. Maybe that's it. Right in the corner right there. All right. Let's do that right there. So, looks like I fell after 3 blocks, and that's because I'm traveling back at the same speed. Now, what people are confusing this with is with breezily bridging, which I'll make another video, a follow-up video, sometime next week about breezily bridging and why it is actually possible, because your movement is constantly changing and it's getting slower. But that's a topic for another video. But people are confusing that with breezily bridging, and this is not breezily bridging. It's completely different. So yeah, let me show you this right now. So if I go straight back, this is another thing, all right? if I go straight back and shift every like 5 blocks, I can go pretty fast or pretty far. Like for example, if I just turn it on and then shift, unshift, yeah, then eventually I fall, of course. But I can go a lot farther if I do it correctly. So if I just go straight back like this and then shift every like couple blocks, you can end up going a lot farther. Let's see if I can do it right here. To get really far while shifting. So this is kind of like speed bridging, but a little bit different. It's kind of like you're speed bridging, but then like you're shifting every other block. That's definitely possible to do because you're basically just doing this every other block, but just like in slow motion kind of. So like shift, unshift, shift. Oh, okay. I keep falling, but anyway, yeah, that's definitely possible to do. Like I've done it before. Like I mean, this is just speed bridging. Like this is shifting and unshifting. But if I just combine the two, it's definitely possible to do that as well, like just infinitely far. You don't have to shift every block if you have your timing like perfect. But yeah, that's pretty much it. I just wanted to clear that stuff up because there's a bit of confusion in my previous video. And yeah, so hope everyone enjoyed, and I'll probably make a video about like breezily bridging and why it's like actually possible to do as opposed to this in a future video.